And we're live.
Yay!
Just the two of us this time.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Well, we have
Just
to.
the two of us and not Sean.
Yeah, not Sean. Sean actually bailed out last minute. Like, sent us a
he had a
message
good
few
reason.
hours ago.
He had a good reason. I give him credit, but
I mean, whatever. Something more important came up. And, like,
yeah.
and he needed to take advantage of it. That's what happened.
Yeah, I know. I'm only going to act slightly hurt about it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all put
I'll just
heart
just
and
slowly
soul
guilt
in
trip
this.
him later.
Yeah, exactly. So, fuck you, Sean. F for Sean. Exactly. Okay. I don't have really an opening topic. It's been a lazy week for me here. I guess. Oh, I won't be here next week. Just as
hey, cool.
Yeah.
I won't be here in 2 weeks. Let's take turns not being here.
Yeah, no kidding. So apparently this was going to be our last 3-man show for a while, but I'll be in Edmonton helping my parents out with some stuff for the week, so I'll be gone.
Ooh, nice.
And then you have a con, I guess?
Oh, PAX West.
Oh, geez, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's 2 weeks away, dude.
Yeah, I forgot what month we're in. Good lord.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm in that pre-con stress mode now. So.
Oh, great.
Gotta start getting the show ready.
Yeah. And that one usually takes a while, right?
So, PAX West is Thursday to. Oh no, wait, is that the Friday to Monday one? That is the Friday to Monday one.
Friday to Monday, yeah.
Yeah, so I fly out on the 29th on the Thursday.
Okay.
But we're on Friday, which is weird. So it's actually the first day of the show is throwing controllers, and then I have the rest of the con to myself, which is gonna be weird.
Though. That's nice.
It's cool, but it's like I'm not used to it. I'm super not used to it. Like being like on like day 2 and then having the rest of it, it's gonna be fine. Like usually that's what happens, but straight up first day and then done is just gonna. I'm gonna be bored out of my mind, I think. This is like I stopped counting when I got to I think PAX 18, so I don't. This might be 18. I don't even know anymore.
The magic has long
Paul,
since left.
What was the first year you and I drove to PAX?
Oh, when we drove, that must have been
2011. Was that 11?
That must have been 11.
Yeah. And I don't think that was my first. I forget if that was my first PAX or was my second.
That was your second.
I think it was my second.
At least, yeah. Because you had
so
gone
I've been
the
going,
year before with your current
with Chris and everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I've been going to PAX West since 2010.
Yeah.
And then I've been going to PAX East since I think 2012.
12. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Or no, I think that was actually 2011 as well. Because
did you go the first year that they put it on East?
No, I missed the first year.
Okay.
I literally can't remember when TRG started. It has been that long.
Yeah.
And that's why we went to PAX East. Yeah, no, I think that actually was 2011 we went. Wow. Okay. So yeah. Been going to PAX West since 2010 and PAX East since 2011. And and we have not missed a year out of either of those.
Yeah.
Which means this is my 10th. Oh God, this is my 10th PAX West.
Good Lord. Yeah, that's crazy.
And this is my 9th. This year was my 9th East. So yeah, this is number 19.
Crazy. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. 12 was my last year because I remember I was going to go 2013, but Ryan Davis had just died from Giant Bomb. And I just was like, I can't go. Like that just feels super.
Magic is dead.
It almost felt like a weird sign or something. It was like, and like the thing is that he wasn't even my favorite person out of Giant Bomb necessarily, but there was something like off feeling about going and just like knowing certain people weren't going to be there. And then ever since then, it was just kind of a matter of, oh, PAX got huge, and if you like are like using the bathroom when ticket sales go on, you've lost out. So whatever. Yeah. I haven't really made much of an attempt.
This year was weird though, because they had passes available for a while, and then a bunch of my streamer friends had passes to give away, like through Reed Pop. It was really weird.
Huh?
I've never seen that happen before.
Maybe just the convention circuit in general is starting to die down a little bit now that E3 has like
probably because it's so fucking glutted. Oh,
it is. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you of all people should know, I guess.
And I don't even do the Comic-Con circuit. I don't fucking kudos to anyone who can survive that circuit.
It makes you wonder, like, what Kevin Smith's schedule must be like, because he does a lot of that shit too.
But then he also does a lot of work too. I don't know how that guy's always moving.
I guess he doesn't do video game conventions though. I think he sticks to like, there's not as Comics many movie things for sure. There's a lot of video game conventions, like a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. But PAX has always been kind of the one that's like, if I go to another one, it's probably going to be a PAX. Because first of all, it's close enough we could drive there. Well, after like a day of driving.
Yeah, it's like 14 hours of drive.
Yeah, but
and that's being generous.
Yeah, and I like Seattle. That's like one of my favorite cities. So I'd like just going there in general. And to me, it's always just kind of been the one, like the first convention to go to, especially because like E3's been there, but E3 only recently was like an open thing. PAX was always the one that like people went to where you could like have conversations with any random person there because you're all kind of part of the same like crowd. And like I guess even now that's kind of probably changed where a lot of people go to PAX who don't even know that it started as a Penny Arcade Expo. So I
always hear less and less actual Penny Arcade themed stuff at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of
like weird. I know they still do their comic drawing panel. I know they still do Acquisitions Inc.
Yeah,
but like
that's kind of it though, right?
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah, no,
and merch,
crazy.
but yeah.
And merch, yeah. Crazy. It's gotten so big. But I like that one. I know you like that one still too. So
I still like PAX West because like it's Seattle.
Yeah.
Oops. And B, like the area it's in is good. Like there's things to do downtown.
Lots
Seattle
of subways.
Where versus like PAX East, where it's like, here's the convention center. Everything is in the convention center. Nothing is near the convention center.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So you have like, there's like a crazy shuttle bus system to get to pretty much every hotel in the area.
Oh, I see. No, I like the way this year's laid out for that.
Yeah, they're changing the layout this year, which is gonna be interesting.
Oh.
They sent an email out where they're like, all right, this year we're actually gonna have like metal detectors and stuff. So the normal entrance you guys take to get in is no longer the entrance, it's the exit.
Like out through the courtyard area there?
Yeah, the one that leads out to like in front of that Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah. That's the exit.
Yeah, that's apparently now the exit instead of the entrance.
Interesting.
Yeah. And they're doing bag checks and metal detectors, so I'm curious how this is gonna go this year.
Yeah. Man, I do not. Sounds like a bad year to be an enforcer. The first year they're like really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like they got an actual professional security set up for the. They'll have a company to do all that. That's what they do in Boston, anyways.
True, that makes sense. Yeah. That's kind of too bad. I guess it just says more about the state that America's in currently. Like,
hooray!
This is a top-down perspective. Episode 476.
Nice and depressing the way I like it.
Yep. August 15th edition. I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
All right. John, what did you play this week?
Absolutely nothing.
Perfect. I did about the same.
Done and done. Cool. I did Mystical Ninja starring Goemon for game clearing for N64. I'm still working through that. We're probably about, I think, 65% through the game is what people were saying. So Monday we'll probably wrap it up or come close.
Okay, cool. That seems to be a little longer than I was expecting it would be.
8 hours, I think, was how long to beat.
That's not so bad. Neat.
Yeah, so that was a 5-hour stream dedicated to it, and we probably put another hour and a half in last week.
Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun. Camera is bad though. Like trying to control it is not a good idea because randomly it will just do a 360 motion if you've only tapped a direction once. Because it seems like it's fighting like their auto setup camera. Their auto setup camera is all right, but not great because it's an N64 game.
Sure.
But then when you try to readjust the camera, it will try to find that best angle while also doing the motion. So it'll just do a spinning motion. And it's just rough.
Yeah. Okay. You're still enjoying like the gameplay and stuff though. Like, I guess I never asked, what is the gameplay? Is it like a hack and slash, or is it like?
It's a more platformy Zelda-ish game. Is the best way to describe it.
That sounds fun.
So you're going around getting party members. You're finding like new equipment for them, going to new areas. You'll have to jump around off of platforms and fight enemies. There's bosses at the end of dungeons. There's dungeons where you can get like extra items and stuff, and just it's like a mix of that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I am enjoying it. It feels kind of fresh. The music is excellent. Highly recommend it for the music alone. But just don't be surprised if you fight the camera a bit.
Okay.
And it's also like early, and I don't know if it's early in 64 or not, but it's got that filler issue where it's like, here's a giant open area and like nothing happening in it. So just walk through, enjoy the scenery and music, and then try to get to where you need. So that's the one bummer, is I feel like there's just a ton of filler at times.
Yeah. Maybe some limitations.
But other than that,
well, that they couldn't put.
But other than that, it's been good.
Okay, that's cool. That's all you've been
pretty much
playing?
all my gaming is has been on stream. I did play a little bit of Lords of Thunder again, trying to get my TurboGrafx CD working.
Okay.
Speaking of games with great soundtracks, but that game keeps crashing on me at different spots, which is a bummer.
Yeah,
it's a really hard shmup, and it really sucks when you make progress and then it's like, no, you're done. You stop now.
No wonder this is considered one of the hardest games. You just can't get it working.
Yeah, it'll be interesting when that comes out on the TurboGrafx Mini, because then you can play it without that issue or the crazy loading times.
Yeah, that'll be cool for sure. I didn't even know until like a few weeks ago that TurboGrafx Mini was happening. That's weird. What a weird thing.
I think they announced it at E3.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they announced it at E3, but they only announced like 5 games for it. So I was like, that's not much. And then later on, they're like, yeah, no, it's like 40 games. But then they did this weird thing where the Japanese one and the North America one are getting the exact same games, but they both have separate lists. So the North American list and the Japanese list are in the same machine. So you're getting Snatcher, but it's not translated.
Oh no! Okay.
Unless they did a translation, and I don't expect them to have.
No, probably not. I think there's a fan translation though, right? I wonder if they could just rip that.
Well, I mean, there's an actual North American translation, but at least for the Sega CD.
That is weird that they didn't do that.
Yeah, it's really strange. I'm curious. I'm keeping an eye on it because like some of those games are expensive, and getting them in a little system like that would be much interesting. Like it's kind of like how the PlayStation Mini. The only reason you buy it at this point is to get Persona 1, because that game is like a couple $100.
Yeah.
And you can get a PlayStation 1 Mini at this point for like $30.
So
it's the cheapest copy of Persona 1 you're ever gonna get, aside from free.
Yeah, no kidding. Good lord. Okay, cool. No Switch games or anything like that? No P-Cross? You haven't started that P-Cross game?
Dude, I'm afraid. There's a 5th Picross game out there now. Did you see this? The RPG one?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I kind of want it.
Yep.
But I can't buy anything on the eShop right now. My paycheck only just came in today, so now I gotta put some room on my credit card and stuff.
Yep. Yeah.
So I might snag that tonight and check it out.
That seems like one that might go on sale, because that seems like one of those.
I think it is already on sale, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now that I've said it, I might as well just boot up the Switch and find out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really have just not been playing much in my free time. It's been kind of rough, honestly. It sucks because there's always stuff I just want to sit down and play, but I feel like my time is better spent doing other things. Like this all isn't done yet.
Yeah,
as you can tell by the fact
that
the
moved. So
well, that was 3 months ago now.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes a while to get everything set up.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders sometimes, trying to get too much stuff done at once. So.
Yeah, and then nothing gets done, unfortunately. I get
pretty much.
Yep.
Some stuff is getting done though behind the scenes, so thank God for that. So, well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, that's all I've done.
All right.
Oh, apparently I was playing a little Picross S3 because it's booted.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
I can hear it. Yep. My TV volume is very up right now. I'm 97 puzzles in, which means I still have another like 203 to go.
There's so many puzzles.
Oh my god, there's so many puzzles. Why? And then yeah, that Lord of the Nazarick.
There's something weird about that game that, like, I don't know what it is, but there's something unsatisfying about those puzzles, and I don't know why. Because they're just P-Cross puzzles, but maybe it's because it's all centered around, like, that anime I haven't seen, so I don't care about any of it, and it's like, this is an anime character, but apparently he has a name, and he probably is, like, a cool dude or something, but I don't care. I don't know who this is.
I love cool dude anime. That sounds great.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, give me a flower or something. I know what flowers are. Like, stop giving me anime amulets and stuff. I don't know. It's weird. There's something just unsatisfying about it to me, but maybe that new one will be cool.
Oh man, PC Building Simulator is on the Switch. Heck yeah. Man, now we're talking.
Yeah. How ironic.
Oh man, Turok 2? Oh my god. I have not been paying attention to the eShop.
You're right. Turok 2 did come out recently. That's hilarious.
Tactics 5, the 5th tactic ever. Hooray. Oh my god, this is just gonna be me just making fun of
eShop.
Yeah, no, that Picto Quest is already 15% off.
Oh man. I don't know. I might get that, but like,
yeah, I'm gonna pick it up now.
So how much is it total?
It looks cute enough. $10.70 Canadian.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I'll pick that up.
I think I might actually have enough gold coins to cover that. No, I don't, because I used them on Picross, that Nazareth one. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
Basically, the Switch has become our Picross machine, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. Because there's so many fucking Picross puzzle games on it now.
Yeah.
And then there's like all the weird spin-off ones that other companies have done, like Pixel and all that.
It's weird too, because there was a point in time where there wasn't a whole bunch, and I was like fiending for some P-Cross, and I found a site where you can just like make your own, and like then it'll like give you all the numbers and stuff, and you can play other people's. So I just played a bunch of like random P-Cross puzzles that were like 50 by 50. So
50 by 50 would take forever.
It took forever. Yeah, took a night to do one of them usually.
Picto Quest, the Cursed Grids. I'm already sold based on the name.
That name's really good. Yeah. I've been playing.
Looking at this cover, it's making me want to play Wonder Boy instead.
Oh yeah, should play more Wonder Boy. Shit, I forgot that existed. All right, put it on the list of things to do. I played through all the Spider-Man DLC, and
how was it?
It's very good. It's unfortunate that there's only one thing though. So all 3 chapters take place in one like story arc essentially. It's like if you bought like a run of comics that like were focused on one story in like Spider-Man's world or whatever. Whereas the video game would be more like one volume or something. So it's kind of a shame that they all just focus around one kind of big boss thing going on, but I kind of like the way it did some stuff. I guess like there's a lot of busy work. They added a whole bunch more screwball missions, which are just like bad Joker missions or bad Riddler trophies essentially for Spider-Man. So those suck, and she's just obnoxious and annoying. Other than that, like they added a whole bunch of crimes because those are easy and randomly generated anyways. But the story stuff I thought was pretty good. They focus a lot more on these ones focus on Hammerhead and him kind of like trying to become the big like mob boss in New York now that like the Kingpin had been taken down at the beginning of Spider-Man, the main video game, and then like a bunch of other stuff happening throughout that game. And so you're fighting a bunch of dudes that like got a hold of Silver Sable's weaponry because of course they did. And there's a lot of monotonous fighting in it, but I kind of like how the fighting in that game feels anyway, so it was kind of okay, except for some of the hideout missions were just annoying because they were too long. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is a good way to do Spider-Man content, and it's kind of a shame that they only did one story this way rather than like why aren't there like 9 episodes with like 3 different story arcs or something? Like I would have bought more of this DLC because I think that story stuff was neat. So I think
it's because they couldn't prove the concept, and
yeah,
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if someone else was vying for that license right now because of Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that somebody was saying that Spider-Man 2 is in the works, like the video game. And I guess that makes sense.
Oh, really?
But like, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked a little more DLC, or maybe this DLC should have come out a little later because it came out pretty close to when the game came out. And I think maybe by that point it was in like the perfect time of people had put down the game already. So like it should have come out maybe earlier to get people hooked into another story, or maybe a little bit later for people to be like, hey, I remember that, let's try this out. But
I thought they were like a month apart from like the release. Like I think it was like a month per DLC or something like that.
I think it all
which is not bad December. Actually.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't hear many people talking about it, and honestly, like it doesn't add a whole bunch of like great new stuff, but like it was $30 for like another 30 hours worth of content, maybe, like, or 20 hours. It was totally fine. I guess another thing people might have been thrown off by is that it seems like each chapter might have been like a different story that's happening, because that's kind of what I thought it would be. The first one's called The Heist, so you would think it would take place like with Black Cat being the main villain or something, but she's kind of just there for some parts, and like she's an antagonist in the sense that she brings up weird things for Peter during that time, but then like she's just tying into the bigger story of Hammerhead, and Hammerhead is both chapter 2 and chapter 3's like villain essentially, and that kind of sucks. Like I thought it would be that like at least chapter 2 would have like another villain, and then chapter 3 like, but Hammerhead was pulling the strings the whole time or something, and like they're all connected somehow, but it's kind of just one story arc over the 3 of them rather than 3 separate stories, which is what I thought it was to begin with. And like I could see how people would be disappointed with it, but for me, I just felt fine going back into that world. I really like Spider-Man and how that game plays, so I wrung it out for all it's worth, 100%ed it, and now it's shelved until more DLC comes out, I guess, or Spider-Man 2 or something. I guess like the new costumes they added are cool. It's too bad that those costumes were added in DLC that not a lot of people will see. They have like a Spider-Verse Spider-Man in there. The one I liked is, I don't remember what cartoon it is, but the cartoon of Spider-Man where he like has short sleeves and like wrapped up like arms and like bandages or something. He's like a kid Spider-Man.
I was saying, you're describing like Sonic from Sonic Boom at this point.
Pretty much, yeah. I think it was like that era of Spider-Man that we kind of glossed over, like early 2000s sort of thing. So I'm sure somebody knows what I'm talking about, but that's a neat skin as well. And then like they added a whole bunch of the free ones. The Raimi one obviously was there like a long time ago, and then some other ones that slowly came in, like the Homecoming one and the one from Far From Home. So that's kind of neat that they keep like up with the Spider-Man costumes for the properties that are out, in case people are like just like, I guess it's possible that there's a kid out there that's like, hey, I just saw Far From Home and Spider-Man's kind of neat. I'm going to see if there's a video game. Oh, it's on discount for like $30 because it came out last year, and they get to like play as that suit and stuff. So it makes sense that they would keep doing that. I think it's kind of neat anyway.
Yeah, I looked it up. It was each month after the game came out, they added a new DLC piece.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know how you do that better then. That's pretty good.
That's honestly pretty standard, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Too bad. I guess like it's also fair to say that like obviously they weren't selling it for a lot, so like not a whole lot of work was done in it, but enough was done in it that I think it justifies the. I think they were $15 each with like a $30 point for all of them or something like that. But
makes sense.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. The other big thing I did was I started playing Devil May Cry 5 again, because I'm on this kick of, I have a spreadsheet of all these games that I've played that or started, and I'm trying to get that all like with a finished date on them. So Devil May Cry 5 was up, And going back to that after Spider-Man was real difficult. And it continues to be real difficult because once you get used to how one character plays, it throws you back to the other character you haven't seen in half a year. So it's been really hard to get back into how that game plays. And now that I've looked it up because I was curious, I'm 3 chapters away from the very end of the game. I think I got a hold on all of them except Dante. Because Dante is crazy involved, being able to switch between all his different stances and different weapons on the fly as you're doing combos, and it's a crazy amount of like, what am I doing here? So I want the approach of Trickster style is dope, so that's what I'm putting all my points into, because fuck the rest. And it's been okay, but I could see. I want to look up some videos when this game's done of people like that are good in that game playing that game, because so like the way he plays is you use your D-pad to switch between the styles, and then you use your 2 of your triggers to switch between weapons. I think the left are like whatever guns you have, and the right is whatever melee weaponry you have. So like they're not sets; they're like on the fly, whatever you want. I could see somebody just like that knows what they're doing. Just do like basically an infinite combo on stuff.
Yeah, no, 4 pretty much turned into that.
Yeah,
that's what like a high end foreplay was just like constantly going through the whole set of weapons and everything.
Yeah. I guess the good thing though is that I have put everything into Trickster, and Trickster is good enough to just carry me through that game. Like it seems like. I'm guessing his other ones are too. It seems like no matter what you put most of your points into, you'll be fine.
Trickster is the everyone friendly style.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what that is.
It's
Royal Guard is for like the crazy players. Gunslinger is kind of like medium, and Swordmaster I assume is the other one.
Yeah,
he only has 4, right?
Yeah, the 4. Yep.
Okay, because sometimes he gets more. And Swordmaster is also medium style. So like beginner to medium. But yeah, no, Trickster will definitely get you through any of the games he has multiple styles in.
Yeah. So Trickster's been just the way to go. And especially because it gives me a lot of the it gives you the mobility options that I like to just go fast through a level. And that's what I like too. Swordmaster is the dopest looking though, still. Every time I switch to Swordmaster, it just looks so cool.
Because he gets all the extra like swings and combo moves, and I know that's where he used to get like the one where he'd take Rebellion and just kind of spin it on his hand like outwards like a chopping blade and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are all there for sure, and some like weird new ones where you just like have a whole bunch of swords around you. Like it's weird. That game goes so off the rails with story. I'm not going to tell you story stuff because you're going to play it.
Please don't spoil it for me because I still want to play through that fully at some point.
No,
but
I'm not. Going to...
like off the rails is the correct way to do Devil May Cry.
This, holy shit! Some of the stuff. I mean, you know about the motorcycle, right? Because you saw.
Oh, of course, that was in the trailers.
Yeah. So that's dumb, and it gets so much dumber.
That's so excited, dude. Someday I'll get down to playing that again.
It gets so stupid. And I remember telling you specifically I liked how V played. And that's because V was a nice punctuation as like a weird little gimmick that you could do for a couple chapters when you had to. It wasn't when I got stuck with him with 2 long chapters and I had to play him that I realized V fucking sucks. Because that is like his skill set and how he plays is a nice like little different thing to just be like, oh, this is cool to play around with and look at all these neat things, until you're stuck with him for an hour doing a boss fight, and you're like, fuck this fucking character. I want my mobility options back. It's so bad. I was so angry, but I think I'm done with him now. I can't tell, because I thought I was done with him before, and every time I think I'm done with him, they throw him in somewhere. So, but Jesus Christ, I finally understand why people don't like him. He's just not fun, because Nero has the ability to like move around and like grapple basically, and like his different arms do different things. So there's a lot of like variety in what you can do with kind of some basic skills that he has. And then Dante's Dante. Like everything he does can be awesome or shitty depending how you are as a player. and V's just kind of shitty because he kind of doesn't do anything. And there's like a story reason why, but like it doesn't mean that just because there's a reason for it doesn't mean I want to do it as the player. Like make this a cutscene or something, because fuck this dude. Although reading poetry is also awesome. Always awesome. There's a button to read poetry as him, because of course there is. It's Devil May Cry. That's pretty much all I've been playing though.
Cool. Let's go on to Mountain News.
Yeah, I grabbed a whole bunch of stuff, and some of this is interesting. Some is just kind of announcement stuff, so we'll go through it quickly. Just the heads up of Epic Games Store free games this week are Hyper Light Drifter and Mutant Year Zero. So a good tactics game and a good hack and slash, like fast moving type game.
Top down hack and slash.
Yeah,
high speed stylish hack and slash. We'll go with the Devil May Cry style.
Sure, yeah. Both very good. So if you have the Epic Games Store, just go ahead and download those. This one I just wanted to bring up. We haven't really brought up the whole, like, we don't talk about Twitch stuff often, but since it's you and me here and not Sean, I thought this would be kind of just like funny to talk about. So we know that Ninja left for Mixer, and Twitch has been a little shitty about it. They removed his checkmark instantly and like took down his channel instantly. They were being a little petty, but that's whatever. The pettiest thing they did is that on his channel page, they linked a whole bunch of other creators under Fortnite.
So this is the thing. I thought he had agreed to this as terms of his contract. Because that made sense to me. I'm like, I understand from Twitch's perspective, your number one streamer's gone, or like your number one most subscribed streamer. You would want people to go to his page to see all the other people on your platform.
Yeah.
But that his channel was the only channel that had that setup.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't agree to it sucks.
Especially
and then, of course, there's the rest of the story.
Because one of them was just an account that was made like minutes before streaming hardcore porn. And it, of course, because it's a spectacle, it instantly has the most followers, which means it instantly is the first thing you see going on to Ninja's channel.
Yeah, they view botted to get to the top. And of course, the first result on Ninja's channel was porn.
Yep. So there you go.
And so this is the thing, too. Someone told me this. Apparently, that was up for 2 hours. I thought it had only been there for like 2 minutes. I didn't realize it was just there. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And it just kind of shows, like, maybe, I don't even want to say it, maybe Twitch needs to get one of those algorithms that just detects video stuff and takes it down and makes you appeal. Because I remember Artifact being the place to go to watch movies for a while, the Artifact game thing, because that's where, like, you could watch Endgame rips and stuff because nobody was there. It was crazy. And Twitch didn't do anything about it for a long time. So
Twitch, for someone who works as like a streamer full time, Twitch is complacent, and that's the problem. They're doing the same thing YouTube did, but in a different way.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about what the pendulum swing back is going to be, because as much as
like this is why I'm keeping an eye on Mixer right now, because like I feel like this is like Mixer's second or third try at it, basically at this point.
Kinda, yeah.
And I feel like if this time it doesn't work with Ninja and everything else, then like nothing's gonna make Twitch stop being like that.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's true. There was another thing about it. Apparently they banned I didn't pull the news thing, but Twitch banned a Counter-Strike pro or something for using a homophobic slur in Russian or something like that to his own teammate, but apparently it was just joking. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things that Twitch is cracking down on stuff, and a big problem is the way they do advertisements, and specifically how they have no way to tell advertisers for sure that their ads will be played on specific channels, which seems like a weird oversight. It's all about how Twitch has all their advertisers in a pot, and they don't know how to like split it up accordingly, and that makes advertisers nervous, so they have to put on this face of like, we ban everything thing. So,
well, now this is the thing I'm curious about. Like every TwitchCon, they announce some big thing for partners.
yeah.
And TwitchCon is basically a month away at this point, a month and a week or so.
Yeah.
I'm legit curious what they're going to announce this year. Like, as a partner, ads have been somewhat useless for a long time. So I'm wondering if they'll be like, yeah, no, we figured it out this time, or if it's just going to be a wash. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Especially with all this pushback they're getting from all the balls they've dropped, and with like Mixer gaining some steam again. They need to actually come out swinging this time. This is, I think, the first time in a long time they have to actually try, and I'm curious what that's going to look like.
Could you imagine if they actually added in tiered partnership so that like partners could choose what ads are played on their channel based on like what their advertisers allow and stuff, like a bounty board almost? You could actually like
bounty board, but a bounty board doesn't work on this site either.
I know. That's a different problem though.
Yeah.
That's a different problem. But like imagine if you could just be like, I know my audience is this, so I don't want like adamandeve.com to like put ads on my page specifically. But then because they have tiers, somebody who isn't like more kid friendly, who is very explicitly like that sort of streamer, could take that sponsorship, and Adam and Eve know that they're getting like the right demographic. The fact that Twitch doesn't have this already is fucking crazy. Like,
I mean, YouTube doesn't even have that.
It's absolutely crazy to me. At least YouTube have people behind the scenes doing that shit though, usually until Adpocalypse blew everything out of the water. Anyways.
Which one?
Yeah. Working on another one, World War Apocalypse.
I love internet content creation as a job.
It's the best. I never know if I'm going to eat next week. Great.
Not that bad yet, thankfully.
Yeah. This one I read just today. Ben Irvin, the lead producer for Anthem, after 8 years of working at BioWare, has left for a different company.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to see here if it says what company it is. He started back with the Old Republic and was moved on to Anthem. And he says here that Anthem has a bright future and blah, blah, blah. This is obviously PR speech. He wants out. So,
yeah,
BioWare loses another longtime comrade in the Anthem Wars of 2019. There you go.
I wonder if he has said on Twitter
where he's moving to. Yeah, because this thing I pulled
from Sydney, Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has not said anything at all.
Not yet. Yeah. So I mean, hopefully he has something better. I'm sure he has something that'll be less stressful. Anthem seems to be a pretty hot button game for somebody with such a big or a company with such a big like fan base of rabid fans. I don't know. That's weird though. Anthem takes another victim basically. In better news, Epic Games Store finally is offering cloud save support for their like exclusive games. And
there we go. That's probably should have been there in the first place.
That should have been there a while ago. For me, that's standard. For me, this is standard. I hate that a lot of companies make you pay for that, like PlayStation Plus and like all that stuff. But that just should be there. For like, if people aren't willing to pay for it, that's a different story. There's no reason why a PC-centric launcher shouldn't have had this for their fucking games. It didn't offer that. It did not offer that. No. So the best that it did offer is stuff like the Ubisoft games had it because Ubisoft already had it on their games, right? Like they have their own launcher and stuff, and it just goes through Uplay anyway. So games that were through a third party that already had cloud saves because the company that they were selling it for already took care of that. Their exclusive stuff did not until this week, today. I don't actually know when this was published. I think it was actually just today. So, World War Z, Rebel Galaxy Outlaw, some games like Alan Wake, some of the free games that they've given out. So they did not have cloud support until now. And apparently playtime tracking is around the corner. But I didn't think that was worth mentioning because I kind of don't care about playtime tracking. That also seems like a basic thing, though, that they could have had very quickly. That is just now coming. So this is the type of stuff that when people say the Epic Game Store sucks, like the fact that they didn't have cloud saving is absolutely terrible. That's so bad. That's so dumb. Yeah, I guess they have it now, and they're going to keep upgrading, I suppose. In other news with stores, though, their Steam store now allows you to mark games as you had played it on a different platform. So when you go to
for reviews,
no, for when you go to your like store page, it gives you like these are like games that maybe you should take a look at or whatever.
Oh, okay, I get
the algorithm. So then that way, it's just like you can tick off that either besides ignore or not interested, you can say like played on another thing, and it'll just get like rid of that forever because it's like, well, you have it, so who cares? So that's just another option that they're offering for their algorithm to read you a little more appropriately. I don't actually even use
that
that
makes
thing.
sense.
Yeah, but I think that's a good idea, personally. I don't use their suggester, though. I usually use like Twitter to see what people are talking about.
I use it when they do like their summer sales or winter sales, and it's like you get cards and stuff. So I'll go through that, and it's usually like don't want it, have it.
Yeah, now you can actually do the have it option. That's cool, like for that sort of thing for sure. Okay, what else do we have here? Some Rainbow Six Siege Year 4-3 Season 3 news came out about the new operators from, I think it was Peru. Yeah, from Peru and Mexico. Named, where is it? Amaru and Goyo. Coming to Operation Ember Rise. They haven't officially shown what their gadgets are yet, but people are speculating that there's a flame gadget, hence the Ember for one of them, and the other is a grappling hook, hence the Rise. So that might be neat. A grappling hook sounds kind of cool. I don't know about this Ember thing. More news will be on that soon, but yeah, they have shown off a little bit of that stuff, so people that are interested can look a little bit deeper. And some bad news, Spelunky 2 was delayed. So that sucks. Derek, you said this game is becoming a bigger, more complicated thing than I even expected, so we were going to try to release this year. It's not looking till at least next year. So there you go.
I mean, that could still be early next year. We don't know, but
yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They haven't released any specific date. His like literal tweet is something along the lines of was trying to get it finished by this year. Doesn't look like it's happening. So he hasn't like set a date or anything. But Spelunky 2 is being developed. The screenshot he posted on his Twitter is like very involved looking and very cool looking. So I am willing to wait for it. However, the only thing I kind of want is just Spelunky again with some new like tile sets. So the fact that it's going to be more is impressive to me alone, I guess, is where I am.
Because that already kind of had a lot in it.
It had a lot in it for sure. So yeah, it is still coming. Also, like Bubble Bobble 4 is coming to Switch, and I think it looks great. I love Bubble Bobble. I was excited about this.
More 4-player, like for the past couple entries, they did 4-player Bubble Bobble, so I guess they're going with that again for this one. And this is a new one made by Taito. It's just published by a different company.
Yep.
I'll see how it is. Let's see if it's as grinding or less grating rather than the originals.
Yeah, it's interesting because game design has definitely like changed. Like, I wonder if that game will have changed with it to like give some more ease of use for the players.
It's also going to be widescreen now instead of like the more contained screen, so it's going to be interesting to see how that changes it too.
Yeah. It's going to be a Switch exclusive as well, I should mention for people. So Yep.
And it comes out in Europe first, apparently.
Yes, that's true. It's coming out in Europe first.
Bubble Bobble for Friends launches in Europe first, then the US. Yep.
I didn't see anywhere in this article. Does it tell if it's going to be online? I'm guessing it won't be.
They have not mentioned that at all.
Yeah,
probably means no.
Yeah, they have mentioned that it is going to be 4-player co-op, but yeah, it's probably going to be local, just to temper any expectations, I guess. Overwatch's new character is live, Sigma. I don't know really much about him, but for the Overwatch players that like still play that game regularly or care, you probably already know. He was on the test server for a while, but apparently he is now live on everything, so you can load back in and he will be available for you to play. There's a whole bunch of other updates or things in this update that you could probably look up for yourself, but yeah, there's some new endorsements. It's a new game mode, apparently. I'm not going to get too into it here because that'll take forever. Just like how I'm not going to get into everything that was added to No Man's Sky with the new update.
Because they added a lot on that.
They added the game. The game now exists that they basically promised a long time ago, but to a smaller scale. So the big thing with the No Man's Sky update is they added a bunch of stuff for multiplayer, including the fact that the maximum player count for each universe has gone up from 4 to 8 players on console and 4 to 32 players on PC. So there is more likelihood, specifically for PC, that you will run into other players randomly. Which is nice, I guess. Like, I kind of wish that 4 to 32 went, like, maybe 4 to, like, I don't know, 160 or something, just like astronomical, but I can understand that they're probably not painted in the best light anymore, and their game is probably not making as much money as it did when it was promising that sort of stuff, so their server costs have to be a little bit down. But yeah, this is a big step. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, if you're interested at all in No Man's Sky, you should look up the update notes for yourself, because there is so much added in this update. Because this is, if I remember, this is supposed to be their final update, right? This is like their big
something
last
like that.
big one.
This is the big push. There's like a balance patch after this or something like that, but that's it.
Yeah. And like, I'm still scrolling. There is so much here that I actually can't get into all of it. I will say from personal experience, I loaded up No Man's Sky this week again. And after playing Subnautica, that world feels empty and boring to me. Using the laser to like break stuff down into little components, and like, that game just does not interest me in how it plays anymore. And that's too bad, because this seems like a lot of cool stuff. Maybe it's better with friends. You can build like your base and stuff with some buddies and whatnot, but I played it solo for a couple hours and was not impressed with the game myself. But people that are still into it, rejoice. Your game has finally released. This one was just, I wanted to talk about quickly because it's huge news. Actually, if you care at all about speedrunning, a speedrunner broke the Super Mario Bros. I guess like 100% run, like the full run, no skip run for the original Super Mario Brothers under 19 minutes by just a hair. And he's going to try to get 1958 now, or 1858. So he's going to keep going.
God.
But it's the fact, like, when you're talking about a game like Super Mario Brothers, probably like one of the most speed-run game of all times, and the most optimized, the fact that like a second was knocked off is fucking huge. And it was kind of a shitty run, that by his own admission, because he bumped the ceiling a few times on a few parts, so he thinks he could get it down even more. But yeah, just some big news for the speedrun community. That
I know there was also some recent discovery as well that there might be a way to actually get the warp, the any percent also down.
Yeah,
which is crazy. They found a way to despawn some piranha plant, which apparently will save a little bit of time.
That community is crazy. They're so deep in the guts of that game. It's crazy.
Oh my God, it's insane.
Yeah. Kind of neat, though. That's all I pulled. The rest are from the Discord. So apparently the Subnautica dev called out G2A for $300,000. Because GTA apparently gave. I'm just trying to look to see who it was. Unknown Worlds, the game director of Unknown Worlds, a message saying that they would offer to pay 10 times the revenue lost due to the bad game sales or whatever on their platform. So now he's just being like, oh, okay, you owe us $300,000 then, because we can track where game keys are from, and you fucked us basically for $30,000. So we'll see if anything comes of it. I'm going to assume not. I'm going to assume GTA is going to do what they always, G2A is going to do what they always do, and ignore this until people forget about it, because that's what they do. THQ Nordic hired the Time Splitter co-creator. That's kind of cool news for me, because I like Time Splitters. This is apparently going to be because they want to do another Time Splitters of some sort, but nothing has been penned in specifically yet, so we'll have to see. I think that's a neat idea. I like that game.
Yeah. Nordic has another story as well that I'm surprised is not on here. Volition announced they are in fact working on the next Saints Row game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one at all. That is cool. That's good news. I wonder how much stupider that series can get.
I don't know. They went pretty stupid in the last one.
I think they went too far myself. I didn't like the last one.
That was actually where I'm like, now I'm in. I'm
really?
in 100% on this.
Okay.
One. Yeah.
I like 3. 3 is where I was like, this is a perfect amount of dumb with like other shit.
Yeah, but I wanted Crackdown basically, and that's what I got.
Yeah,
so,
you got Crackdown for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think they're gonna do that with 5, which is a bummer. But like, who knows?
Do you think they dial it back to like what Saints Row used to be?
There's no way they go all the way back. There's no way they go back to 1 or 2. Okay, they go back to 3 at the farthest. Because they know at this point they are known for being the insane devs.
Yeah. Yep. That's true. Man, what a misstep if they go back to like Saints Row 1 or like San Andreas type stuff where you're just like gangbanger.
Oh, man.
Holy crap. That would be so bad. This is.
And here's another question too. Does it continue the storyline or what?
Probably. It continues the storyline, but like at a more basic level. That's not crazy. It's just like, what the fuck is going on with this series? That actually would be kind of funny if they took it seriously.
I would like to see how they write themselves out of the corner they put themselves in with Saints Row 4. I would legit like to see that.
It'd be pretty good for sure. Also, just an announcement was made as well here. WayForward released some info about the new Shantae game, Shantae and the Seven Sirens. And they haven't released a release date yet, though. I don't think.
No, because it was supposed to be on Stadia. I think Stadia was its first platform.
Okay, yeah. They have released some screenshots of it. It looks good because, of course,
supposedly it will be playable at PAX West as well, along with River City Girls and a bunch of other stuff they're working on.
Nice. Hopefully you get to get your hands on it.
I'll try, but it's PAX, and you know how those lines are.
Yep.
I'll do my best.
And that's it for new stuff this week, things going on. So we should move on to questions. If you have a question, write it on a note, put it in your mailbox, and maybe it'll get to us. Or even easier, you could probably like go to the Discord channel, John's P.O. Box. Well, you could actually send it to John's P.O. Box if you wanted to, I guess.
Just hand us a letter. Just
give us
a letter out of nowhere.
Just give John a letter at PAX, and then.
No, because that happens. That does happen sometimes.
Have you gotten just like a question written on a letter?
Yes, and I think there might be one that I have forgotten to read out for the podcast. Oh, no. But yes, this is a thing that happens.
Okay, fair enough. And or topdownperspective@gmail.com if you want to be less formal about it, which we highly recommend. First question comes from Kevin. What is the best square monitor? And he's asking for aspect ratios of 4:3, 5:4, or 1:1. And when you're talking about square monitors, it's whatever you want, dude. This is a personal preference thing because I personally would not buy a square monitor. If you want a resolution where there is more horizontal than vertical, you're going to go 4:3. If you want close to a square but not a square, you're going to go 5:4. And if you want a square, you're going to go 1-1. If I was to get one, it would be to do something like maybe make a cool like little art project where there's just like a bunch of pictures or something on the wall, and I would probably choose like a perfect square for that, so that there's just like constant like changing wallpaper like in a picture frame or something. But like I wouldn't recommend a square monitor. Like I guess I need to know what you would want the square monitor for.
Yeah, like this is the first I've really heard the discussion of wanting a square monitor that's not like just a CRT.
Yeah, because I will say, if you just want like more room vertically, you should just still get like a regular monitor, because it'll probably be cheaper for a good one or like on discount, and you can just turn it sideways and like make windows vertical for that monitor. Like, which I would recommend if you just want it for work or something as well. Like that way you could have your email set up top and like your browser set up on the bottom or whatever you're doing. I just don't understand why you want a square monitor. But if it's for like a weird little project, I would recommend 1-1, because 1-1, just a perfect square looks better to me, personally. Do you got the next one?
Yep. Next one's from Hebrew Lantern, who says, without taking the song into the equation, what is your favorite music video? Can our hosts answer any of these questions? And this is a link to a separate doc.
The questions for this are: somebody made an AP college level test for Pokemon.
Oh, Jesus.
And I wanted to share it with like you guys, you and Sean. I'm going to just go right ahead and say I looked at the first 5 questions and closed it. There's no way. I actually can't, because the Pokemon that I got really into when I was like 11 years old, and it was called Pokemon Red. And then since then, I just kind of had a passing like fancy for what Pokemon have been released and not the mechanics of the game.
I already hate this.
It's
I've closed this after reading the first 2. I hate this.
I'm going to throw it in chat because there are people that will probably like it. But
it's straight up like, what are some it was like multiple choice questions for the first bit. It's like, all right, what attractions are in this town?
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, you're going to use this power of a rod to catch this specific Pokemon. What are the odds depending on what ball you use of catch rate? I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
I can't.
Go away.
No. I looked at the questions. I literally cannot answer one. I can't.
I hate this. I actually hate that.
I'll take it.
As someone who runs a trivia game show, I hate that. I'm going
to take it one step further even. I got super anxious reading the first couple pages because it looks like a legit exam, to the point where...
And that's what they were going for. So they very much succeeded on that. But like, no.
Like it says here, time 1 hour, 15 minutes, number of questions, 70% of total score, 45. Like, I got super anxious just reading the beginning of this. I absolutely hate this.
I still have nightmares about forgetting to do work for school, or like have like that nightmare forgetting to show up for exams and not studying.
We haven't had this conversation. I've had this conversation with a bunch of random people where I usually start by saying, do you ever have nightmares? And then they're just like, what are you talking about? And I specifically mean the recurring ones are, I wake up in the night sometimes, just be like, oh shit, I'm going to be late for like specifically chemistry class for me for some reason. I have nightmares about being stuck in a school looking for my classroom, but I can't find it because all the hallways look the same. Like I can't find where I need to go and nobody's helping me. Like every nightmare I have is about school. So looking at this gives me anxiety. I fucking hate this test. So screw you, David, first of all. Now, for the music video,
Peaches by the Presidents of the United States of America, because it's just them chilling out for a bit, and then suddenly they're fighting ninjas.
Yeah, true.
Body Moving by the Beastie Boys, because it's just a heist film.
Yep, that's true.
I legitimately used to just watch music videos and download them when I first got access to the internet. So this is actually a pretty easy question for me.
Like rather, it's funny because for a long time we used to download MP3s when the internet like became a thing and Napster was a thing. And then when we got high-speed internet, those MP3s, instead of downloading MP3s, I started downloading video files to watch the music video while listening to them instead. So yeah, I very much agree. Also Thriller, because I don't think that song is necessarily very good. Like, I don't love that song, but I love that video.
Yeah, there's things about that I like. All of Interstellar 5555, so basically all of Daft Punk's Discovery.
Sure. I'm trying to think of some others. I know there's like more. If I gave it a moment, I could probably think of any ones that tried to like do a movie feel are usually pretty good watching. Yeah. I'll take the next question. VGC Kenny says, since it came up in the heavily spoiler tagged Danganronpa discussion, I was wondering what game has an antagonist that you think is the most anti-ethical or most opposite to the protagonist and to the game's core message. Most opposite to the protagonist.
Mega Man X, because Sigma just wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah, it gets into this weird like villain territory of a villain is always kind of boring when their thing is I want power or I want to destroy everything. So because the protagonist is always the exact opposite of I don't want to destroy everything. So like any of those specifically.
I'd also say, as a flip to what I just said, Mega Man Zero, because the original plot of that was that it was all about order, and then chasing order so much that you, in fact, caused chaos. So,
okay, yeah, I could see that. There's probably other things most opposite to the protagonist. Are there any games where there's literally like the antagonist is darkness and the like light is the protagonist? There probably
Alan
is,
Wake.
right? Yeah, like kind of, right? Because that's probably the answer. Or if like black is the main character and white is the...
Honestly, that's the darkness. That's literally the game called The Darkness.
The Darkness. What about Spy versus Spy?
No one wins in that game.
True. I kind of want to know what the heavily spoiler tagged discussion was, but I do plan one day to play that series, so it seems like a bad idea to read what this question
Yeah, if you want to get into that series, don't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Baxter writes in and says, I've been playing a few retro games recently, and if there's one thing I've noticed about my playing of retro games is that I suck at them. And there was one part of a game where in the level I was playing, I always got past the easy parts with no problem, but once I get to the difficult part, I immediately die and go back to have to do the easy parts again. I got so tired of doing the easy parts over and over again that I reluctantly decided to use a save state. I say reluctantly because whenever I use a save state, I feel a little guilty about it and may even consider it cheating. But at the same time, using the save state alleviated some headache during my gameplay experience.
Okay.
The thing is that I feel like I'm committing a mild gaming crime when I play games in a way that wasn't intended by the original devs who wanted the players to do the easy parts and the hard part all in one life.
Okay.
So my question is there a fine line between fair, warranted use of save states or outright using them as a way of cheating in the game you're playing? Like, at what point is using them considered cheating, or is using them at all, even if just once, considered cheating? I'm going to be real with you. As someone who has played a lot of retro games and still dabbles with them, save states have basically made those games playable. So much more tolerable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly think you do not need to feel bad for using save state. And this is coming from someone who tries their best to not use them.
I mean, you shouldn't feel bad anyways, because I think you should play any video game in a way that is accessible to you, just in general. That being said, I think where it becomes quote-unquote cheating is if you have to download a separate program for it or something. If you're like hacking it, maybe.
Because, I mean, that's very much cheating.
Because you're like, you're very much going out of what the game allows. Like,
I'll focus that one a bit more and say, like, if you're using save states and you're fighting a boss and you save after every hit you get on them.
That is,
if you're at a point
that's
like
abusive for sure. So here's the thing, right? Is that even a lot of people that you would call like professional Mario Maker players, one of the things that they complain about currently is that Mario Maker 2 has no way to download a level and play it in the editor. And the reason they're complaining about this is because even pros know that the way you get good at something is by practicing the part you have problems with until it becomes part of the easy stuff. So like they can't go back themselves and play hard levels now and like focus on the areas that like they are giving them trouble. So they have to play the whole stage over and over again, and it's become tedious. And that's one of their main complaints about the game in general. So even people that are really good at the hardest stuff that is meant to kick you in the balls over and over again, like Kaizo games, got good because they knew what parts they sucked at and they played that part 1,000 times until that became normal. Like, that's just the way it is. But so like I wouldn't feel bad about it. I guess like if you're
100% agree.
I guess if you're gonna feel bad about anything at all, maybe it's the fact that if you're using a save state, maybe you're using an emulator and maybe you should buy the game. But even then, I kind of don't care.
I'm going to assume that depends on the game. Like, if, let's say, like, they're playing Little Samson, I'm not going to be like, no, you got to go buy Little Samson right now. Like, drop $1,500.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Sure. Yeah. But if it's like Mario Bros. 3, like, that game is literally free sometimes in a garage sale. Like, there's no reason why you... But, like, even then, accessibility, I think, is more important in gaming anyways. There is something to be said about I think you should try every game first without it and then focus on like, because the reason why the beginning part is easy, that you're saying these are the easy parts, is because you've played it enough to get to the hard part. That hard part is going to be part of the easy parts eventually, and you're going to have a new hard part. So like, I understand wanting to save the time of just like, I don't want to play this garbage that I know how to do. I want to get to the real challenge. But like, maybe it sounds like he's tried a few times to do it legit. I think at this point it's fine. Use the save state, whatever. Like, do whatever you want, kind of, is where I lay on it.
Yeah, if you're not save stating to be like, all right, I did part of this hard room, now I can keep going from here. You're like, all right, I'm just skipping the parts I just have this point have memorized. I could do in my sleep. That's fine.
Yeah, for sure.
No one gives a shit about that.
Yeah, for sure. Final question from Zeiss Rocks. I recently played through my first Igavania when I finished Bloodstained. I knew beforehand some of the bosses were going to be challenging, but to my surprise, my playthrough was relatively painless. Going through, I feel like I was cheesing the game by using the almighty boots to either leg sweep or dive kick bosses to make them trivially easy. That being said, which weapons are you enjoying using in your playthroughs of Bloodstained? Also, or what's your favorite game to break open and cheese? Also, what's the best kind of cheese?
Why is it always the cheese question? Yeah, I haven't really played Bloodstained since that time I streamed it. So I don't even remember what I was using at that point. I think I was using like a club or something like that.
Okay, yep.
So like a heavy hitter.
I liked regular swords because I got the passive upgrade shard to make those do a little more damage. So that it's weird because I know I could have grinded to get like the passive upgrade for any weapon, but the fact that I got that one so easily, it just kind of like locked me in to swords. And the swords were kind of a nice balance of like doing a decent amount of damage while being like quick enough that I could dodge stuff. So I just got used to it. And by that point, I didn't want to change very often. I didn't like guns though. I never got into the gun in that game, or the whip, unfortunately. I thought the whip was kind of bad.
Whip was all right. It's just weird that if they were close enough to you, you didn't damage them, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's your favorite game to break open and cheese? Break open.
What's a game I just like glitching a bunch, basically? Shoot, I know there's a game that I do this with, but I am blanking right now.
Me too. Yep.
Link's Awakening. There we go. Because literally, you could just get to the edge of a screen, open the map, and then you would be warped ahead on the map. So it was fun to just jump around on that game and try to break.
Try to
like sequence break it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I really like zipping in Mega Man. That's just funny to me. Just seeing him fly across the screen with the transitions and stuff. And best kind of cheese is probably mozzarella.
I'm lactose intolerant.
Thanks, Zeiss, for bringing up a difficult subject to talk about. Yeah.
God.
All right, that's it for questions. Again, topdownperspective@gmail.com. Discord, TDP podcast. I didn't say before, actually. Sorry. On Twitter. Or write it on a note, put it in your mailbox, and hope Magic gets it to us. That's
the magic of the Postal Service.
Yeah. What's your game of the week?
I guess Mystical Ninja starring Goemon.
I have to give it to Devil May Cry 5. It's so crazy stupid.
It's so crazy.
Sean's usually the one that does housekeeping, so I don't know what he has in the bag.
The housekeeping is we don't know when our Patreon episode's going to be because we're going to have 3 weeks straight of one of us being missing.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
We're also going to have the... Ooh, we got to do that poll soon, too. I think next week we're going to have to put the poll up for October's game. Oh,
I know what the housekeeping is. Starting tomorrow, I believe Sean will take submissions for the next TDP Plus game from the Patreon tiers that are 10 and above. I don't remember. One of those. So if you're listening to that, I'm sure submissions will be open by the time you hear this. Other than that, have a nice day and good week. We love you.
All right.
That's housekeeping. Bye.
The housekeeping is we love you.
Yeah.
Treat yourself. Go get like ice cream, unless you're also lactose intolerant. Like
housekeeping. Call your mom and tell her you love her. There you go.
Just call someone. If you don't have a mom, call someone else's mom. They probably don't get calls from their son or daughter, and they might want one.
Call my mom, because I'm a piece of garbage.
Please don't call my mom. I don't want to have to explain anything to her.
Fair enough. Bye, everybody.
Later, everybody.